Our verses today are found in Galatians, and they're some of my favorite verses. They're some of the verses that I strive to live by every single day. I don't always make it, but they are always at the forefront of my heart and my mind so that I can too identify with Paul when he says, "For I am crucified with Christ." That means that we identify with his death. How interesting it is as believers that the thing that identifies us most with the one that we follow is the symbol of the most tragic thing that ever happened on the face of this earth, where he who knew no sin became sin so that we might become the righteousness of God. He was perfect and blameless. He did not have any fault about him whatsoever. And yet he was nailed to a cross, not because of any guilt on his part, but because he loved us. He loved us so much that he gave his life for us. So these verses compel us that we are crucified with Christ, that it is no longer I who live. It's no longer we who live our lives. We have given our lives over to Jesus Christ. We are to live as he lived. We are to do as he did. We are to say the things that he said. Our lives are now his. And the reason for that is because he gave himself up for us. He loved us so much that he gave himself up for you and me. It is a beautiful thing to think about the sacrifice that Jesus made for you, that Jesus made for me. It's an incredible thing to think about that he would endure all that he did, not because he had to, but because he wanted to. Not because it was a burden that was placed upon him by God the Father, but rather it was a willing sacrifice because he saw our desperate situation. He saw that we had no way to him, and he loved us so much that he wanted to provide a way that we could once again reunite with him. So the life we now live, we live by faith in him who loved us, in him who gave himself for us. So as you go throughout today, I want you to meditate upon those words. I want you to think about what Christ has done for us and how he gave his life for us, and so that we can draw closer to him and know him more.